So here's the story so far. Zera's been kidnapped, and he's the only scientist who may have a chance of finding the cure for the world's deadliest plague, and we have to go and save him. However, like any other mission in this game, it's about as important to me as putting my makeup on in the morning. And as you can imagine, being a masculine Aussie bloke who has no interest in putting makeup on, I don't even own any. So these missions mean literally nothing. Instead, I'm going to piss fart around with some volatiles for 45 minutes.
Oh my fucking god.
What's up, you cretins? It's Cobb, and welcome back to Dying Light. I hope you enjoy the video. But anyways, let's get into it. I wait until morning inside of the tower and decide to look through my available quests. I notice that there's one that will give me improved explosives. And if there's one thing I like more than dropkicking, it's something that will go kabloomy kabloomy and kill anything within an 8-kilometre radius. Outside the front of the tower, there's this dude who says he's digging around for worms to fish with. How about you dig for some bitches and get back in the tower, you walking zombie snack? I head to Jafar and he tells us to talk to Kurt, so we do so. He tells us he needs a truck battery to use as the casing for the explosives. He says it's hanging off of the overpass, and as I head out, I realise he was talking complete shit. If he lies to me one more time, I'm going to have to throw this battery at his fucking forehead. I make my way to the truck and notice the absolute clusterfuck of zombies congregating around this thing. After about 4.5 decades of fighting these useless meat sacks, with a fully grown beard and the scent of unwashed sweaty man mixed with gunpowder and a pine tree, we managed to grab the battery out of the truck that isn't hanging off of the edge. After taking a long shower, we head back to Kurt. He tells us that he needs a few more random parts. And this is when I look down at my phone in real life and momentarily forget that I'm playing a game. When I return, I realise that I don't need to move a muscle, as I already have all of the necessary parts, which is incredibly handy for my little fingers. He tells us that he needs some time to make the bomb, and so to pass the time, I immediately jump 30 feet and break both of my legs in front of some of Rice's butt buddies. I take swift action against them calling me mean names by force feeding them bullets from my assault rifle. After releasing these blokes, I head back to Kurt to see if he's finished, and he's just smacking a machete with a hammer. Now I'm no blacksmith, but that seems counterproductive. So I head to have a nap to hopefully force the quest to complete itself, which proves to be a useless effort. Assuming the worst, I find the next available quest, which is talking to the two blokes that made me want to dive headfirst into an Iron Maiden last time I spoke to them. On the way there, Kurt calls us and lets us know that the bomb is ready. What a piss take. Kurt must be fucking with me. I head back to him and he tells me that I need to head into a tunnel at night to test out the explosive. That is a massive okay mate moment. Take your time and then send me to almost certain death. I'm about to smack this dude's big bald head. I have a nap and head to the tunnel. Being a sneaky little snake, I avoid the volatiles with precision and find my way into the tunnel. I plant the bomb and run out of there, almost kissing a volatile on the way out, but somehow not being spotted. Luckily for me, the bomb didn't go off, and we have to head back inside and adjust it. I fucking hate this big bald man. How dare he toy with my emotions like this? I run back to the bomb while simultaneously ugly crying and having the world's most puckered butthole. I tickle the bomb and it sets it off this time, and without hesitation I run to the nearest safe house, taunting the volatiles only when I'm within a bee's dick distance to the safe house. I talk to Kurt and he gives us the blueprint for his IEDs, and I finally complete this quest. With that done, I head to Tolga and Fatin, the insufferable twins, and they question my knowledge of what a battery is as soon as I get there. These blokes couldn't find the clit if it was smacking them in the nose. Absolute troglodytes, and being in their presence makes me want to run to the nearest drainage system, find a used smack needle and jam the dog straight into my eyeball. But anyway, these two buggers also need a couple of batteries for whatever contraption they are making now. I have no clue when car batteries became used in so many other contraptions, but I'm just the dude who grabs shit for cash, so I do not care. I get to the bus depot and find a fireman who seems to be upset about something, and then smacks me so hard that it causes an eruption of flames. Quite ironic. But he's clearly too strong for this planet, so I test his strength with a buckshot to the noggin, and it turns out that I overestimated him. He drops like a sack of potatoes, and then I'm left to fight half of Farran's zombie population. After killing all of them, I head through to the buses and find all of their batteries. Bit of a piss-take quest that took way too long for no reason. But after it's done, I ended up ziplining back into the Maidenless Twins hideout, so that makes it worth it, I guess. I give them their batteries, and one of them says,
"Better check them for bite marks."
"Dude's lucky I've got the patience of the average high school teacher. Otherwise, I would have ended up doing some unspeakable things to them, just to show them what a real man feels like." Now that Dumb and Dumber's request has been appeased, I decide that it might be time to go help the doc. He's probably been tortured for the last 3 days of gameplay, but it's a worthy sacrifice, as I've got a cool explosive now that I haven't used once. I head for Rice's compound, and it's been deserted. So I find my way in through the rooftop, and we call the GRE and ask for assistance. Only it's not the GRE anymore. It's the Minister of Defence, and like a true American, his first thought is to bomb the entirety of Farran. So I'm alone for this quest. Thanks, America. I head through the compound and don't find much for a while. Just a few of Rice's mates that I say g'day to with my Glock. We get through the building and end up underground, fighting Rice's men that have guns, which prove to be incredibly inefficient at aiming. It's a shocker that they've made it this far. We find the doc, and he spills the beans of where the information for the cure is, and it turns out that Jade has it, our goth GF. I have no clue when she ended up with it, but I'm not going to strain my brain over it. Rice pulls a Houdini, and ends up shanking the doctor in the thigh. There's no need for that, mate. And we end up getting literally butt-fucked by some random dude and wake up in an arena with Rice telling us that he knows our secret. We hit him with the world's slowest punch, and he kicks us in the jaw as payback. We wake up, and he's looking over us in the arena. We've been left with nothing but a couple of rusty pipes on the ground, these meaty thighs of mine, and about 50 zombies in the containers. It isn't much of a challenge, it just takes about 3 business days to get through them. After that's done, this absolute unit of a bloke gets dropped at our feet. At this point, I'm concerned that I'm too weak to take him out, but it's quite the opposite. It takes about 5 whole machete swings to take care of him. A very lackluster boss if you have more than 6 brain cells and aren't a literal 1-year-old. Rice is impressed by our effort and comes down. He tells us that he knows we are with the GRE and orders some dude to publish a file. No clue what that's about. Then he tells his monkeys to kill us, but we pull some John Wick maneuver and end up cutting his hand off. If I was Rice, I would have just grabbed the blade and stopped it. But regardless, he's really pissed. And one of his lackeys ends up stabbing Zera in the heart. Not a good way to go out, but it's a man's death, that's for sure. RIP to the doc. And we end up running through the compound, dodging bullets, until we eventually get RPG'd off this catwalk, which I find hilarious. But I end up escaping with no worries. When we get out of the site, we are struggling with our infection, and it's no surprise, because Crane hasn't taken an Anderson the entire time we've been here, which definitely lends itself to turning into a fucking zombie. We end up unlocking the grappling hook, which is going to make things fun, and I spaz out for a few minutes before waking up to Brecken, who isn't at the tower anymore. And that's where I'm going to end this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment what you enjoyed, and subscribe for more content from yours truly. Until next time, take care.